Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome to my new comic book day review for January 31st, 2018. Okay, you've heard the expression, save the best for last, so that's what I'm going to do, which means the most disliked ones will go first. And I have a rating system that I've devised, and it's not a 1 through 5. I just decided that, it would be helpful for me to have. So, I'm going to go over that rating system real quick. Click on it here. And I'll go from the lowest to the best. Poor, fair, good, great, and excellent. So, there's 5 categories. Now, if you're new to my channel, Spirit Comics, please do subscribe and smash that notification bell like She-Hulk so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. And if you enjoy this video, please do like it and share it with others. Okay, now I have not, there's some that I have not yet read, so I have not yet read a poor comic, but this one I call fair. Dark Knight's Metal number 5. I know you're probably thinking, what? Well, here's just a few thoughts. Ever since the previous 2 issues and all the tie-ins, I have not been real impressed with this event. I haven't. I hated. I shouldn't say hated, but I did not like the Batman Who Laughs. I didn't. I did not like that. Now, I'll go back and maybe if I reread it, I'll change my mind. But I didn't like it. I didn't care for the Dawnbreaker. But this one, I say it's fair because while it has some good artwork, and it does have some nice reveals in here. The return of an old character, and let's see. Oh yes, the possibility of one of the most hated aspects of DC Comics continuity might be returning. I don't know. I'm not going to say what it is. I will have a short write-up on this, when I get the chance, because that's what I'm doing. I'm writing my thoughts on every book, and this was fair. The art was good, but it also borderlined on average. So it wasn't extremely, knock 'em dead. And the next 2 are from Marvel, and believe it or not, I rated them better. Cable 152 and 153. Now, I love this cover. It's hilarious. I mean, this is a hilarious cover. Take a look there. You gotta laugh. The stories are a little bit confusing and complex, even for me. Because this is the Newer Mutants story. So, you know, that's a hindrance because I really don't quite get all the bouncing around of the Marvel timeline that Cable does, and it happens so fast as there's no real way to explain to me, the reader. But the artwork makes up for that. So both of these, I would say, are good books. They surpassed Dark Knight's Metal from DC. Okay, next up we have another Marvel. This is the Invincible Iron Man, 596. A really awesome cover there. The story itself is a little confusing, and it doesn't flow as well as the previous issue, so that's against the book. But I enjoy the artwork, so I'd say this is a good rating. You know, that's a good book. Now, this next one is not from Marvel nor DC. You may have never heard of this book or this company before. This is, well, actually, yeah, here it is. Yeah, this is DC. I thought I was getting something else. But I will be showing you something different in a moment. This is Mystik U, number 2 from DC Comics. When Zatanna is basically, I don't know, it was kind of strange in the first issue. I think she's thrown back in time to where she has to go to Mystic School again or something or other to avoid a supernatural catastrophe in the present or something. I don't know, but it's basically, you could say it's written for those who are struggling through their years of college, going to universities. It's a thick book. I think it's I don't remember seeing any advertisements in here. And the one guy in here that Zatanna has an interest in reminds me of Cyclops from the X-Men. He just sort of looks like him. He's, you know, in his civilian clothing. Okay, and now here's what I was going to show you. This is the one neither from DC nor Marvel. I know you probably don't recognize this at all, but take in that cover. Isn't that beautiful? This is Divinica, number 2, from J.P. Roth, J.P. Rothic, and this is the back. Isn't that something? Now, first issue really caught my attention, and it came out several months ago. This is J.P. Rothic has several comic books, and they're all in this same type of artistic style. Let me see if I can give you a good example from this issue. Well, here's one. Those are two of the main characters of this story. Look at that artwork. you don't find this level of artwork from Marvel or DC. And take a look at that page. Isn't that beautiful? And let me see if I can find another good page. Well, I think that'll be it for show and tell. Now the story, it does not read like a Marvel or DC book. It's poetry, basically. At least that's how it comes across to me. That's used to tell a story. I'll just read you one paragraph. Or let me see here. The sentences are very long, so. And I forgot to put my reading glasses on. Shame on me. Okay, much better. A mist lined the shores of Gitchi Guame, floating against the shining big sea water. Nokomis stood with her eyes locked on the dark, distant shore. She lifted her hand and pointed westward. The shadow that fell from her finger blended into the low hanging clouds, now purple with sunset. That's poetry, in my opinion. And I'm not going to read the comic book to you because, I don't believe that's right. And the only time I ever read text from a comic book is if I'm critiquing it. And this is an excellent comic book. I found nothing wrong with it. The story, a little difficult to follow, but I've only read it once. I read the first issue several times. Okay, now another one from Marvel. This was excellent. I enjoyed it. Avengers number 678, part 4 in the No Surrender story. This story is getting better and better with each issue. I mean, how can you not love this cover? Look at that detail. And there's so much detail inside too. I mean, look at that detail. It's way better than Doomsday Clock or Dark Knight's Metal. So this is an excellent book. I highly recommend you pick this up. Now I know some people won't agree with me about Avengers. That's okay. This is from Dynamite Comics. It's called Dejah Thorns. I've read it once, and I won't lie, I got it because of the woman. She's endowed. That's why I got it. And the story, well, it's a different kind of story. It's not a superhero story. At least, not yet. It's written by a lady by the name of Amy Chu, Chu. It's really interesting. I need to read it a few more times so I can really understand it. But I enjoyed everything I read about it. Dejah Thorns from Dynamite Comics. Okay. Let's see. Next up. Oh, yes. The Flash Annual #1. This has some excellent stuff in here. Great storytelling in here. Great dialogue. It flips a little bit from the past to from the future to the past and then back again. But that's to set up the plot so you can understand or have an idea of what's going on. This is very interesting, and this is a prelude for the Flash War, which starts in the next issue. And then the contents of this issue will continue in Flash 47. So I do recommend that you get this. Great storytelling here from DC Comics. Much better than Dark Knight's Metal. Okay, next up. Phoenix Resurrection #5. I enjoyed every minute of this comic book. I loved everything about it. The coloring, the pacing, the dialogue. Some people might say it's a little bit sappy. You know, that's fine. I enjoyed it. I really did. And right after that, I read the last issue of Jean Grey, #11. I'm gonna miss this book because I really did enjoy this series. There's action all the way through this book. Jean Grey gets her butt kicked around everywhere. And it ends with a cliffhanger. So I highly recommend you pick this up. I recommend the entire series. I mean, it's only 11 issues long. Now you can get it in trade paperback. But I recommend it. And let's see, what else did I get? Because there are some books that I have not yet read. No, that's not it. Whoops. Here we go. Yeah. Now, you may say, well, why haven't you read any of those yet? Well, time constraints. But I'm looking forward to reading every one of these. We've got 3 Marvel and 2 DC. This was a Marvel week for me. DC put out very little that was this week. It was basically an annual week for them. Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, $2.99. The Most Wanted story arc continues. And I love that cover. Isn't it cool? Now, here we go with Harley Quinn, #36. This is the variant cover. You know, this is the alternate cover. I wanted this instead of the regular cover because I like this much better. I mean, she's struggling through the loss of her boyfriend because he got killed. Also from Marvel, Spider-Gwen #28. The covers of Spider-Gwen have been excellent for the past few issues. I'll just take a glimpse at the artwork here. The artwork hasn't it looks a little bit better than it has. And if you don't know, Spider-Gwen is now Spider-Venom, or Gwen-Venom, or Govindum. She's dealing with the stuff going through her system. It's not a symbiont, but it's a different type of venom. Also from, also from Marvel, Captain Marvel, number 128. People hate on this comic book. And, in some issues I can understand why, but for the most part, I've been enjoying this series. I had a weird feeling recently that this series was going to be canceled, so I messaged, I asked the writer on Twitter, Margaret Stoll. She said no, so I'm glad it's not going to be canceled. And next up, my last one that I'm going to be reading is Batman, his Detective Comics, Annual Number 1, The Curse of Clayface. I'm not sure if this is going to be in continuity or not. The Batman Annual Number 2 that came out a while back was not in continuity. It was just a story showing what could happen in the future. But I like this cover. And I don't know why this is all yellow. There should be something in the background. But I like this down at the bottom in true Kirby style. Like Jack Kirby. Gasp at the gruesome origin of Batman's foulest foe. And I'm just flipping through the artwork. Is really interesting. It's really good. I'm gonna get to this as soon as possible. But that's what I picked up this week. So, what did you pick up this week? Or did you buy any comic books this week? Let me know in the comments down below. And let me know if you read any of these yet, or if you are planning to. But please do subscribe to my channel, Spirit Comics, if you have not done so already. And also smash the notification bell like She-Hulk, so you'll be notified of all new uploads. And please do like and share this video with others so they can know about my channel as well. Till next time, true readers.